campaign for justice for Craig Aventine, Brendan McConville and John Paul Whitten. I think it's really important that communities get involved in miscarriages of justice and highlight what the state have been doing. I first became involved in the campaign for the Craig Aventine when I was asked to attend one of their early meetings by one of the solicitors involved in the case, and I received a letter from Eileen McConville, the mother of Brendan, and I can only presume it was like one of the first letters my mother wrote on behalf of us when we were wrongfully imprisoned, trying to gather support and get people interested in the case. And I went to the meeting and was shocked by what I heard. I read the depositions and read the case papers from the court hearing, and it was appalling that two men could be sentenced to life imprisonment for the murder of a policeman on so little evidence, so little fact. When you read the case papers, you cannot help but be struck by the inconsistencies of it all, and by the hand of secret services involved, knowing that a tracking device had been placed in John Paul Whitten's car, and when arrested, the tracking device had been retrieved, and wherever it was taken, it was tampered with, and yet was still allowed to be introduced as credible evidence in their trial without any sort of investigation as to who had tampered with it. And then you come to witness M. It justifies belief that someone 11 months after the arrest of Brendan and John Paul calls up in an inebriated state and says that he has information about the murder of the policeman, who is then becomes the main plank of evidence that's being used against him. And we've seen that this man, this witness M, his evidence has now become discredited, that his own family have come forward and said that he is nothing more than a Walter Mitty, has disputed his version of the night of events, and it's accumulated with the April appeal being put back with the headlines, sabotage. You know, this is just one of a number of high profile cases that warrant investigation, that needs to be scrutinised. And when you have such a succession of high profile cases failing, the Sean Hoy case at Oma, the Robert McCartney case, the Loyalist Supergrass trial, when you've had all these cases, these high profile cases, come along and all fail, and have all been rigorously pursued by the police, the judiciary and the media, sooner or later a high profile case has to succeed. And in this case, I am absolutely certain that there's been a terrible miscarriage of justice, that Brendan McConville's innocent, that John Paul Whitten's innocent, and that what has been done to them, if it is a forerunner for a judicial system that is under scrutiny and under pressure, then we are all under pressure. We are all under scrutiny, and we could all fall victim to the same kind of injustice that these two guys have fallen under. I've no doubt that if justice does prevail, that come the appeal in October, we will have John Paul Whitten and Brendan McConville walking free as innocent men from the court. But they'll have lost a huge chunk of their life. Their families will have went through extreme stress and trauma, and their lives will never be the same. Any judicial system is one of the cornerstones, one of the foundations of any society, and we all have to buy into it if it's credible. If it's not credible, it means democracy's not working. And it can't work in order to save something. It has to work because it's credible, it's impartial, it's transparent, and it works for everyone, and everyone receives the same level of and standard of justice that we expect from any judicial society, any judicial institution that operates within our name. So I would appeal to everyone here tonight to be aware of what's happening, to not be frightened to support, and come out and voice your opinion and your support for people who are being detained under secret information. This is the same type of information that's being used in Iraq and Iran, and of course in Guantanamo Bay. I'm involved in the campaign to try and free the lost British resident Shakarama, who's being detained by the Americans in Guantanamo, although has been cleared for release and still hasn't been released. This is no different from the secret evidence that was used against Maria Price, the secret evidence that's been used against Martin Corey, and the secret evidence that's being used, it seems, on a basis here that's far too frequent for comfort. So once again, I would appeal to everyone to stand up, to support, and to voice your opposition and concern about what's being done in our name. Because if it is being done in our name, and we don't voice our opposition and our anger against it, then it's tactical support for people being interned by remand. Thank you very much.